The world has taught us to chase success, to break down doors with force, and to fight to conquer every crumb of prosperity. But what if true mastery wasn't in forcing entry, but in simply opening the doors that already exist? And what if your reality, in fact, were a reflection of the state of the doors of your own mind, some rusty, others locked with fear, and the key was, all along, in your hands? I delved into an enigmatic knowledge, not written in finance manuals, but in the ancestral wisdom of energy flow, a wisdom about how to open the doors to prosperity. Its truths were kept accessible only to those who dared to challenge the logic of effort and surrendered to the wisdom of letting go. But why was this law so intrinsically linked to our minds and the universe, so carefully hidden beneath the veil of other manifestation laws? What does it reveal about the nature of our reality and the untapped power of our own consciousness to receive instead of fight? Throughout the centuries, this profound understanding of the power of surrender and its ability to shape reality through the opening of doors was veiled and protected. From the immemorial times of feng shui, the ancient Chinese art of organizing the environment to create harmony, they understood that a house's entrance is not just a physical point of access, but the qi, the point of entry for vital energy. An unimpeded, well-maintained, and welcoming door is the perfect metaphor for a mind open to prosperity. They believed that by opening the doors of the environment, the energy of abundance would flow naturally into the lives of the residents. This knowledge was transmitted in mystery schools, where initiates learned to master the principle of flow, the idea that life is a river and that struggling against the current is the cause of suffering. Later, in the Hermetic traditions, the idea that as within, so without echoes the law of reverse effort. Hermeticism taught that our mind is a garden and that the fruits we harvest in life are an exact reflection of the seeds we plant in our minds. The door that opens is ultimately the door of our own mind, allowing prosperity to enter. For millennia, this wisdom, which today manifests in the metaphor of opening the doors to prosperity, remained in the hands of spiritual elites and philosophers, not out of selfishness, but to prevent its distortion or misuse by minds not yet ready for the responsibility it carries, the responsibility of being the sole guardian of the doors of one's own reality. Welcome to the fascinating and mysterious world of how to open the doors to prosperity. Now ask yourself, if prosperity is a natural flow of energy, why do most of us still see it as something that must be pursued, forced, or conquered with strenuous effort? The core of the secret of opening the doors to prosperity lies in a premise that, at first glance, may seem like a paradox, but whose depth transforms the perception of everything. Prosperity is not a destination, but a state of being, and the doors to it open from the inside. The doors are, ultimately, our energy points, our chakras, our centers of consciousness that are blocked by limiting beliefs, traumas, and fears. Effort, in this context, is not a sign of dedication, but a sign of doubt. It is a vibration of struggle, a clear message to the universe that you don't believe that prosperity is something that can come to you. The key to opening the doors is, therefore, to change your vibration from I need to I already have, or, more precisely, to I am ready to receive. Imagine for a moment that your conscious mind is like a large castle with many doors, but most of them are locked from the inside. The doors are the opportunities for prosperity that manifest in your life. A new idea, an unexpected client, a bonus, a life-changing encounter. What prevents you from seeing these opportunities is not their absence, but the fact that the internal doors of your mind are closed. They are closed by fear of failure, of not being good enough, of not deserving. Opening the doors to prosperity is the act of unlocking these internal doors, of letting go of tension and control. Most people try to manifest what they want from a place of I need this, or I have to get this, which is a vibration of need and lack. The universe, which is a mirror, simply reflects this need back to you, generating more situations where you need and feel the lack. The law of reverse effort is the technique of changing your vibration from I need to I am ready to receive. For prosperity already exists. It is just waiting for you to receive it. The depth of the teachings of opening the doors to prosperity transcends simple positive thinking. It delves into the science of energy and vibration, showing that our energy is what attracts our reality. What we call manifestation is the result of our ability to emit a clear and strong signal of a new reality to the quantum field, the ocean of all possibilities. Our fears, traumas, and limiting beliefs are, in fact, the tensions in our mind, muscle, which prevent us from receiving the station of abundance. The act of opening the doors is the fine-tuning of this tension, through relaxation and surrender. The challenge lies in deprogramming the old patterns of struggle and control and using the mind to install new ones. Most people live in a vicious cycle of effort and frustration, perpetuating the past. The secret, then, is to use the mind as an instrument to change this state of being in an instant, through surrender. Visualize yourself before a vast garden, and your desire is a rare flower. Most people wear armor and try to fight against the thorns and weeds, trying to force their way to the flower. Opening the doors to prosperity is the ability to simply lie on the surface of the river that runs through the garden, in complete surrender, and allow the invisible currents of the universe to carry you directly to the flower, like a mirror. That reveals what we avoid seeing. Our present reality is a direct reflection of our resistance to surrender. This conception is intrinsically connected to various spiritual and philosophical traditions. In the I Ching, the ancient Chinese oracle, the concept of the path of the sage is to act in a way that aligns with the flow of nature, rather than trying to force it. The sage does not strive, but simply acts in a way that their action becomes an extension of the flow of the universe. In the philosophy of Emerson and American transcendentalism, the idea of self-reliance is not an act of arrogance, but an act of trust in one's connection with the universal mind and, consequently, a surrender to this greater force. The act of opening the doors to prosperity is the practical application of these principles, using the mind to align personal vibration and attract wealth. What does this teach us about the inner universe we carry? The practical application of this wisdom in the modern world is profoundly transformative. This isn't about a simple change of thought, but a deep re-engineering of the self that allows us to change frequency and, thus, reality. This involves a process of detaching from the old identity of I need to fight, and the adoption of a new identity of I am worthy of receiving. The key is total surrender. The technique is to visualize what you want, feel the emotion as if it were already real, and then, with a sigh of relief, completely release the desire, as if it were a balloon you release into the sky. Think of it like a painter who, instead of fighting with the canvas, simply allows their hand to move and the art to manifest through them. Opening the doors to prosperity is the act of being the channel of your own reality. The external world, the canvas, simply reacts to your internal surrender. The resistance comes from the fear of letting go of control, of believing that manifestation must be a struggle. The law of reverse effort is the act of surrender, of yielding to your own divinity as the only reality. Like a flame that never goes out, even in the darkness of the unconscious, the power of your intention is always active, waiting to be directed toward a new frequency. Another crucial aspect of opening the doors to prosperity is the importance of acceptance and gratitude. The law of reverse effort does not mean you should become passive or lazy. It means you should act from a place of inspiration, joy, and gratitude, rather than a place of effort and desperation. Gratitude is the magnetism that attracts more things to you. When you are grateful for what you already have, you emit a vibration of fullness. The universe, which is a mirror, simply reflects that fullness back to you. If you only think about what you want but continue to feel lack, fear, or scarcity, your energy continues to emit the frequency of scarcity. The law of reverse effort allows you to change that emotion in minutes, through surrender and acceptance. Picture this. You are on a dark stage, and in front of you, a spotlight illuminates the ideal version of your future. This future is not a distant place. It is a vibrational frequency, a possibility that already exists in the quantum field. Your desire to have that future is your map, but your surrender is the vehicle that takes you there. By focusing your attention and intention, and by using feeling to occupy the state of being associated with that future, you are not just hoping for it, you are magnetizing it into your experience, like a powerful magnet. This is why, with the right surrender, manifestation can be almost instantaneous. This makes us reflect on how modern science is beginning to converge with ancient esoteric wisdom. Neuroscience, with its concepts of flow state, suggests that our best performance happens when we are so immersed in an activity that the sense of effort and time dissolve. The law of reverse effort is the conscious application of this principle. It is the search for the flow state in life, where things happen without conscious effort. Quantum physics, with its concepts of superposition and entanglement, suggests that particles and, by extension, reality exist in multiple states simultaneously, until observed. The act of surrender is the very observation that collapses one of these infinite possibilities into a manifest reality, without the resistance of effort. But how exactly does all this connect to open the doors to prosperity? Manifestation becomes everything because it does not follow the logical rules of the material world. It happens in the realm of trust and surrender. The acceleration comes from the ability to skip steps, not having to travel the linear path of thought-feeling action that takes weeks or months. Instead, you go directly to the point of power, the state of being where the desire is already fulfilled, and you trust that it will come to you. Surrender is the fastest and most effective tool to enter this state. The effort required, in this context, is not a struggle against circumstances, but an effort of presence and control of your energy to maintain the feeling of your future. In the present, regardless of external evidence, the power is in you. The act of opening the doors is your switch. The true mastery of opening the doors to prosperity lies in living from the frequency of your new reality. When you become the person who already lives this new reality, the actions that arise are inspired, not forced. Opportunities materialize, the right people appear, doors open with surprising ease. It's as if the universe is conspiring in your favor because you have become a perfect vibrational match for what you desire to experience. The transformation accelerates because you are already operating from the end of the process. To recap the concepts we've explored, opening the doors to prosperity is an act of surrender, not effort. Prosperity is not a destination, but a state of being, and the doors to it are within you, locked by limiting beliefs and fears. By letting go of control and trusting that your external reality is an exact reflection of your internal assumptions, you allow the universe to collapse one of the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into a manifest reality. This view, which intertwines with the ancient wisdom of feng shui and Taoism, is validated by discoveries in neuroscience and quantum physics, which suggest that our consciousness shapes reality. Connecting all these dots reveals a transformative vision. We are not passive observers of life, but active co-creators of our own existence, with the power to use our surrender to manifest profound and rapid changes. This knowledge can drastically alter the perception of reality and the self, for it grants us the power to transcend linear time and manifest what we desire with surprising simplicity. Imagine yourself in a river, and your life is the journey. Instead of paddling against the current, you just lie back and allow it to take you to your destination. This is the metaphor of the law of reverse effort. Most people paddle frantically. The practitioner of the law of reverse effort simply floats. The awakening to this truth is the breaking of the chains that bind us to the how and the when, and the acceptance of what already is dark. With each moment you choose to let go of control and surrender to the flow, you are activating that parallel timeline. It's a process of becoming intimate with your own power, of moving from a state of effort to a state of fullness and manifestation. This is the true alchemy of the self, the transmutation of the self that struggles into the self that receives. The seeker's journey is like an ancient scroll that unfolds with each discovery, revealing deeper layers of wisdom and power. Every revelation is a candle lit in the temple of the mind, illuminating the dark corners of ignorance and fear. The secret of opening the doors to prosperity is not an empty promise of ease, but an invitation to a profound journey of self-discovery and self-transformation. It is a path that demands discipline, intention, and, above all, the courage to transcend the limits imposed by the rational mind and past conditioning. That is the art of living from the reality you wish to manifest, anchored in the present, feeling the fullness and reality of that future as if it were tangible. It's not about denying your current circumstances, but about becoming so coherent with the new reality that the old one simply loses its resonance and dissolves. Life then becomes a fluid dance of accelerated co-creation, where synchronicities multiply and effort gives way to inspiration, joy, and instantaneous manifestation. Thank you for your curiosity and courage to explore these untrodden paths, for delving into the depths of consciousness and questioning the premises of your reality. The journey is continuous, and every step, every conscious surrender, brings you closer to self-mastery and the ability to accelerate your own manifestation. Are you ready to open the doors of your mind and let prosperity in? Remember, every end is just the beginning of a new journey of consciousness.